girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there. The year 2019 is going to be an exciting time in the city of New Orleans, and we want you to be a part of it. If you have a book, an event, or a business that you would like to promote right here on Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions, contact us at www.mtwimagesolutions.com or info@mtwimagesolutions.com. See you there. Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I am back, and I am joined in the studio by none other than Mr. Derrick Shepherd, who is running for.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you here. I know, even though you're a hard person to catch up with, you have been on this campaign trail hard.
I have started January 16th.
Yeah, I remember when you first put it up and you said, "Don't call it a comeback."
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Yes. So you're running for a totally different seat now. You're running for Jefferson Parish Council, District 3, I believe.
That's correct. I've never been a councilman before. Early in my life, I was a state representative for District 87, which encompassed Harvey and Marrero, including Woodmere. And then I was the state senator for District 3, which encompassed Marrero up in parts of Harvey, parts of Gretna, parts of Algiers, jumped the river, and I had the 6th Ward, 7th Ward, 8th Ward, and the Upper Ninth.
Oh, the Upper Ninth. You almost had me. I was Lower Ninth.
Yeah. That was two, but I had the Upper Ninth. So I had that pleasure. Then I had my fall, and I went away for 10 years. And then when I decided to make my comeback, I wanted to deal with the problems right here at home. So councilman is a perfect position for me.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned the fall.
Yes.
So I know that a lot of people who are native New Orleanians, they know about the fall. What is it that you want to tell people to let them know that you're not the same person then?
Well, let me just tell you all about it, and then people can have a better understanding of it. So the year was about 2006. I ran for Congress, actually, and I didn't win. And then the next following year, 2007, I had to run for re-election to my Senate seat, which I won, thank God. Well, it was previous to that in 2006, I had fell in love with a woman. And she was an older woman. She had my nose wide open. I heard it happens. Yes, it happens. And then she asked me to cash a check for her. And I didn't even think twice about it. I just had my stupid hat on and I cashed the checks for her. It was 2 checks. And she took the money and ran off with another guy. And they went to another state and did some insurance Ponzi scheme. And the feds caught them. The feds caught them and then tracked it back to me 2 years prior that they wouldn't have got started if I wouldn't have cashed the checks. So, I spent 21 years in the military. And one of the things I learned, Rhonda, is when you make a mistake, they teach us the 3 F's. You fess up, you fix it, and you don't F up no more.
There you go.
And exactly what I did is I just told them the truth. I said, yeah, I did it. I don't know about the whatever insurance scheme they were involved in, but I did do it. So I took my lick, and it was a hard one, It was very hard because I lost a lot. But what I also learned is that going through the system it gave me a different perspective. And it was one of these lessons that God really wanted me to learn because I was in a position, not married, no children. So I could take the beating and try to come back, whereas other people may have had more to lose. So I took the loss. And I've learned that a lot of people who go through the system don't need to be in the system. And that there's a big community of people, some of your audience members, their brothers, their sisters.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, now the aunts and uncles, they've been through the system and they need a second chance. So the main thing about this race is not just about me, but if we can show the greater community that people like me are not second class citizens, are not
Yes.
third class citizens, but we have worth and we
Yes.
can contribute to the growth of our community, then my living is not in vain. And that's the main thing that drives me day in and day out to get out here, to knock on doors, to walk these streets, even in the heat, is to let people know that if you give me a second chance, then you're giving the people on the corner a second chance.
Absolutely. And you've been on the show before,
Yes.
and when you were on the show, we were discussing all of those amendments that we had to vote on in the
Yes.
city of New Orleans. And one of those amendments was, I want to make sure that I quoted correctly, was that people who had been to jail, ex convicts, would have the opportunity to run for an elected office.
Yes. So this journey started about 2015. There was a law in the books. I went to prison in 2009, and I got out in 2011. Well, 2012, I actually got out. I was off on paper, and everything was signed off
Hmm.
completely off on the beginning of 2013. So about 2015, I knew that there was a few steps I had to take, and one was to challenge a law. There was a law in the books that said that if you had been convicted of a felony, you couldn't participate in the political process for 15 years. It was an arbitrary number that was just picked out of the
Yes.
sky by a white legislator in Shreveport who just
Hmm.
said, I think 15, and these were the words he used in committee. I think 15 is a good number.
Wow.
So I
So there's
challenged
really
it.
no rhyme or
There was
reason to
no rhyme or
15.
reason to 15, so I challenged it. And I lost in the district court, but I fought in the appellate court, and then I went all the way to the Supreme Court, and we won 6-1. And it said that that law is unconstitutional, so it was thrown out in 15. Shortly thereafter, we had the right to vote again. If you get
Hmm.
out, you can get your voting rights back. So that law was passed, and we were helpful with that. And then the coup de grace was the unanimous jury that most of
Yes.
us voted for, and that passed. That happened in 18. So it was kind of just setting the stages for the comeback. And then I qualified here in 2019. So I kind of started this journey the day after Martin Luther King Day. I never forget it. It was the day after Martin Luther King Day this year. I did the parade, and I said, "Well, God, let's do it." And I just walked, and I kept
Mhm.
walking, and we kind of walked the district.
Well, I tell you that victory is huge for
Hmm.
this city because there are so many people who have had unfortunate incidences where they've had to go to jail,
Right.
and it doesn't mean that they're not good people. And so when they come out of jail and they want to be able to make a difference for their cities, for their communities, and they're not given the opportunity because of an arbitrary law,
Yep.
and really what it and I've said this all the time, it winds up being the grasshoppers and the ants. If you've ever seen that movie, I believe it was called Ants. The ants were
Yes.
numerous,
Right.
but the people who made the laws were the grasshoppers, and the ants outnumbered the grasshoppers, but the grasshoppers were the ones who made the
Running the show.
laws. Yeah, exactly, running
Yeah.
the show. And that's what we're seeing a lot in the city of New Orleans. And I'm talking about Greater New Orleans, which
Hmm.
includes this district as well.
Exactly. Exactly. Put this in perspective. So we are, because of early release and the changes, at least 100,000 people are coming out to the society. Right now, we have laws on the books that you can't be an accountant if you have a previous record.
Mm.
You can't be a nurse if you have a previous record. You can't sell insurance if you have a previous record. You can't own a ballroom, and this is the land of ballrooms. So everything that's productive that will allow people to feed their family in a productive way that will not allow them to go back to a life of crime or any of those dangerous situations, we prohibit them.
Right.
So the task
It's a
that
slippery
it's a
slope.
slippery slope. So you bringing them, so they're incarcerated, they're getting trained and rehabilitated to say, I want to think and act right. But you put them out in society with nothing but a bus ticket and say, well, feed yourself. But you can't feed yourself this way. Oh, no,
Yeah.
no, no. Don't feed yourself that way. Stop. Don't feed yourself this way.
Yes.
Well, how
And
much?
by the way, don't eat that either.
Don't eat that either, and don't ask for it either. So then we get into that scenario. So we try to go for the big pill and show that if a person who can be elected again, then surely I should be able to sell you an insurance policy again.
Yes.
Then surely I should be able to perform CPR again.
Absolutely.
Surely I should be able to do your taxes again. I'm not suggesting that there shouldn't be a punishment, but whatever happened to once I do the crime,
yes,
it's a brand new start.
right.
Either we believe in second chances or we don't. And here we are.
And then along with that, a lot of people still feel that because they've been to prison that they're not even allowed to vote.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not true either.
That's
you
not
can
true.
still vote.
You absolutely can vote. You can even vote while you're on paper. Is what we call it currently on a supervisor release or probation or parole. You can still vote. You just have to get permission from your parole officer and get it signed off.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, we have to start this process, start this conversation and say,
yes.
okay, how do I see you? Do I see you as a human, as equal? I guarantee you, you won't ask me if I'm convicted if you need my kidney.
That's
you
true.
won't ask me if I'm convicted if you need some of my blood.
That's true.
You won't ask any of these things. What you will ask is help. Well, we're asking, just let us reintegrate with respect, with dignity. So that's part of this.
Let me ask you this: knowing that, and as I said earlier, a lot of people who are from this area, they know your story.
Mm-hmm.
How has the response been, knowing that you're coming back to politics?
Oh my God, it's been tremendously positive, and in some respects, I didn't anticipate because I've been able to tell my story better than what the media can tell it, because they only tell it in snippets and tell it negative without all the positive. When I can tell my story and tell it honestly and forthright and say, look, I did this, I didn't do this, but I did do this, and when you could tell it, even in the white community, I've been amazed. I tell you a story. I was walking in Plantation Estates, and I'll never forget this, which is a very affluent neighborhood here in Marrero. It was a white guy, and he said, I want to stop you for a minute, Derrick. And he said, may I call you? I was like, sure, you call me whatever you want. I need your vote. He said, I want to stop you. A second chance is not just because of you were incarcerated. I went to the doctor because I felt a lump. And I thought it was over. I thought it was cancer. And it was cancer. But that was 10 years ago, and now I'm cancer-free. And God's given me a second chance. So absolutely. So he taught me to expand the conversation. A second chance is just not being incarcerated. Maybe you had a procedure and you thought, and God said, no, not today. I'm giving you a second chance. So and then I run across those people who are just determined to say, I don't care, I'm not voting for you. I don't know why, but you did the crime and I'm never going to vote for you again. And I dust my feet, shake my hands, and I move off.
Unfortunately, many of the people who have been in politics and they've gone to prison for one reason or the other, that is the treatment that they do get from a lot of people in the city. Oh, this person is a criminal. I'm not going to vote for him. He's just a convict.
Yes.
And we've seen this a lot. Oliver Thomas has not even run for public office since he's come out.
Right.
But people are still saying some of those same things about him as well.
And they say the same thing about me and him. But what's so funny around it is that the people who say these negative things, and most people in general, don't even know what we did.
Exactly. They just know that
they
you
just said, you did something. I said, well, what did I do? And then, they don't know, but then when I tell them, I'm like, oh, that's what you did? I'm like, yeah, I cashed checks for a woman I love. And I got caught up, and I did it. And it's not something, so I've learned one of the first steps is you have to have atonement. You have to come out, and you have to admit. I found people have been receptive because I own my story.
Yes.
I don't run from it, and I don't blame the man. It wasn't the white man. It wasn't the system. It wasn't the devil. It was my stupid self that got so arrogant that I didn't stop to think what this girl wanted me to do this for. I just said, okay, whatever I could do. Now, it had nothing to do with my office. It was about me being a private citizen and being a lawyer. But that decision cost me so much. But then I learned so much, too.
There you go.
So I wouldn't be the type of person I am now. I still would probably be arrogant and full of myself.
I hear you. Now, we're going to take a quick break, but when we get back, there are a couple of questions already in the chat that I want to throw at you. But before we jump into those questions, we're going to take a quick break. So you stay right here. Okay. Relax, relate, release. Okay, and I want you guys to stay right there. This is a great conversation that we're having with Mr. Derrick Shepherd, who is a candidate for Jefferson Parish Council, District 3. So if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, or you can also give us a call if you'd like. And if you want to ask the question yourself and just get a real-time answer, we can do that for you as well. The phone number is 1-563-999-1808. That's 563-999-1808. And we invite you to call in. We're going to be here for the next, 45 minutes, so we have time.
Yes.
All right, so you guys stay right there. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll be right back. It's so funny. Yeah, so we have... New year, new show. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there. The year 2019 is going to be an exciting time in the city of New Orleans, and we want you to be a part of it. If you have a book, an event, or a business that you would like to promote right here on Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions, contact us at www.mtwimagesolutions.com or info@mtwimagesolutions.com. See you there.
Well, what's up, everybody? This boy, Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayoU15.
Listen, this is your boy, Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFredJones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with G Sports. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Gray, AKG, and on Twitter, G_paid-in-full-08.
Pay me the money! money!
And we're back. This is your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson. I am sitting here talking with Derrick Shepherd, who is the candidate for Jefferson Parish Councilman, District 3. And so before we left and went to break, I was just telling you that we had a couple of questions from the audience. And her first question is, should people who have just come out of prison introduce themselves as ex-cons? Do you believe that?
No. I think that doesn't define you. I think people should meet you and meet the person who you are, not the person who you were. And being an ex-con means that once you was a con, but if that's not your mentality anymore. No, I don't think a lady named Bridget should introduce herself saying that, hey, I'm a lady named Bridget.
Right.
You're Bridget, and let me get to know you the way you are. It's just so somebody shouldn't say, hey, I'm a guy named Chuck. No, just be you. Introduce yourself, and if the opportunity presents yourself to say, hey, look, let me tell you my experiences, go for it. And if not, then so be it. Keep it moving.
Amen. Now, last night I went to see this movie, Brian Banks.
I heard about it. Yeah.
Great movie. And it really made me want to do some volunteer work with the Innocence Project. Because it was, as much as it was about Brian Banks, it was also about the work of the Innocence Project.
Yep.
Which we have an Innocence Project right here in New Orleans. And there was a part in the movie where Brian Banks had met this young woman, and they went out to lunch, and she said, I've been telling you all about myself. Why don't you tell me about yourself? And then she said, why don't you play football anymore? And he took a deep breath, and he's like, okay, I'm about to tell you something. I'm not this person anymore. I was accused of something I never did. And he told her what happened. And after he told her what happened, her whole face just changed.
Wow.
And she was like, I have to go.
She fled.
Yeah, and she fled.
Yeah.
Eventually she came back and apologized.
Right.
But many times when a person, I think when a person says I've been to jail, that same type of response can wind up coming where the person's like, oh, okay, well, let me go this way.
Yes, I've had that experience.
Mhm.
As I go door knocking, some people don't remember, or some people are new to the community, moving from out of state. And I talk about the community and how I want to uplift the community, and they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, cool." And
Right.
hey, by the way, nobody's ever knocked at my door. Thank you for knocking. And then I say, "Well, look, before I leave, I want to tell you before the media tells you or whomever tells you. I want to tell you about my who you're going to vote for." And probably about 6 out of 10 is okay with it. But then I get 4 out of 10 like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna think about it.
Right.
And I'm like, cool. I don't have any problem with you thinking about it. But one of the things that was just kind of interesting about this whole second chance, and because I've run across hypocrites all the time, I'm perfect and everything. I said, let me just say this. Let me tell you to your sister or brother, you live in New Orleans. I am pretty sure, and I hope it never happens to you, but I'm pretty sure that you went out and had one drink too many, but God brought you home safely. You didn't get in a wreck. You didn't kill somebody. You didn't even get a DWI. You made it home, and how many times we've all said, boy, I don't know how I made it home. Oh, thank God I made it home. My car drove me home. That's a second chance. It's all connected and related. So once you relate it and break it down to people that, and especially in Brother Banks' situation, it could happen to almost anybody.
Yes.
It could happen to any young man, black or white, to get caught up in a situation where you're accused of a sexual assault or some sort of crime, and it didn't even go like that. But it's one person's word against another, and then your whole life is ruined. And if we could just change the mindset to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to try innocent to proving guilty instead of guilty to proving yourself innocent.
Amen.
So,
Amen. Now, the other question that she had was, how do you think incarceration, what do you think about incarceration being a life-defining event?
first of all, for the individual, it is, and for the victim, it is. So I never like to minimize victims. In my particular case, it wasn't a victim; it was just cashing checks. So it was a victimless crime. But I put my family through a lot. So they live with it for the rest of their life, and I live with it for the rest of my life. So on that aspect of it, for the victims and the defendant, it's a life changing episode. I just don't think that when you get out, it should be a constant reminder forever.
Yes.
Because then we're past double jeopardy. We're into quadruple jeopardy because now I'm never not paying for the crime. And the question is, if I'm never not paying for the crime, and this might sound harsh, but if you will never let me stop paying for the crime, keep me locked up forever. If one day we're gonna let people out, let them out. Imagine being in a situation where I don't know, there's something happened and your spouse keeps bringing it up over and over, or something with your parent is over and over. Imagine if didn't get a good grade and your parents just beat you up with it for, ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. It's like, okay, it's just, come on. Either you see me as either I put the past behind me and I press forward towards the mark of the high calling, or you just don't. And if you don't, and if this society can't, then keep me locked up forever. And then let's keep moving on. But we can't be lukewarm.
Yes.
We have to be hot or cold. So I know this is one of the big steps that we're trying to take to move forward, to try to move our society into a more acceptance. And I think the numbers just going to dictate that they have to. It's just too many people like myself who are coming out with convictions. Now, I know all convictions aren't the same. I mean, I don't have too much sympathy for someone who murders an old lady while you're robbing her. I don't. I don't have too much sympathy for somebody who molests children. I don't. But I do have some sort of, there's got to be some sort of lines drawn. A mama who writes a worthless check to feed her children.
Yes.
Or just to try to have a nice Christmas, and she knows she ain't got the money, but she's trying to have a nice Christmas for her 3 children. Okay, you shouldn't have did that. I got it. And there's consequences to you doing that. But now, go forth and sin no more. When are we going to get to that point? And hopefully this race will start that conversation.
Now, with all that said, let's say you are elected.
Yes.
Do you believe that you may face some of the same opposition when you're in, maybe from your fellow councilmen?
Yes, I think the way I present myself I'm going to always be on the microscope for the rest of my life. And I had to accept that going in. Two things I had to accept going in. One is that I will never be treated the same as anyone else. Two, I have to present myself as a living witness.
Yes.
I understand that there's a lot of people behind me. That when I ask them for their trust and their support, that there's guys on the corner who need me to walk the straight and narrow. I understand that I almost have this Barack Obama thing. I'm going to be the first, so I can't mess it up. So I accept that, and I get it. So I know I have to have certain decorum about me that respects what I've been through.
Yes.
But at the same time, I know that I'm a fighter, and I know how to fight for the community to present a logical argument for the needs of the community that cannot be denied by anyone, no matter how big your prejudices or your bigotry is. So on that level, I look forward to the challenge.
And I know it's going to be kind of a difficult thing because everybody does have different backgrounds when they come in. But shoot, these days a lot of people are doing a lot of things, so nobody is perfect, like you said earlier.
You know, there are 11 people in the race, and I could just name, if I wanted to, faults and foibles for each of the 11. Yes. This one did this one has an allegation of that, this one has an allegation of that. But because I'm trying to elevate the conversation, I don't. So when I meet people and they want to throw mud at me, because I've already been attacked, don't vote for him because he has a record. I tell people the same, I look them in the face, I say, I know you've been told that, but the answer is yes, I have a record. This is my record, this is what I've done. But I promise you, the people who've told you that has something about them. They just haven't told you. Mine was on 4, 6, and 8. Theirs was behind a private gate. That's all it is.
I like that.
Yeah, but it's true.
But now you can always also go back as you can look at my record of my prison record, but what about my record when I was in office?
I proudly tell anybody within the listening audience, when Hurricane Katrina hit, I was chairman of a committee that dealt with Road Home. And I brought Road Home to everybody around. I had Road Home meetings in the Lower 9 at Holy Cross. I had Road Home meetings in Pontchartrain Park. And not only did I have Road Home meetings, but I brought the people with the checkbooks. And I said, everybody in this room was smart enough to come to the meeting. When I announced it, you're getting paid. And I made sure that they stayed there. I brought Road Home here to the West Bank. And then the numerous bills. Martin Luther King is I'm trying to pat my own self in the back. Martin Luther King holiday in Louisiana is a holiday because this was the first bill I ever authored. Before that, the governor could do it or not do it. So if we got a crazy governor, they was like, oh, I won't do it. But no, it's the law now. So, and then the countless projects and stuff like that, just doing my job, just taking care of people, making sure that, hey, your child gets in the school that they need to get in, that this school is going to have the sufficient means, making sure that the state Medicaid program works for people and call them, all kinds of stuff. But I like to look forward to say, hey, there's a new day, we have new needs. And, I just think I have the energy and the desire to do it. I have something to prove. That's one of the things. I'll tell you a funny story, and then I'll let you move on.
Okay.
I was a manager at Popeyes on Bienville and Broad. Okay. That was the first time I became a manager, Bienville and Broad. I trained on Fillmore and Elysian Fields, but then I got my store. I was assistant manager at a night shift. I had a chance to hire somebody. First time I ever hired somebody. I was still in school. I was going to SUNO and UNO. And I was still in school, and I asked my daddy, I said, Daddy, I get to hire somebody. Which one to look for? I never forget these words. My daddy said, find somebody who on the application said they just got fired. And I'm like, what you mean they just got fired? Somebody who just got fired. If they're honest enough to put it on the application, that's the person you want to hire. I'm like, why? He said, because that person has a lot to prove. And they're going to be on time. They're going to work hard. And if they're honest enough to tell you that, you got a diamond in the rough right there. Okay. And I never got that. So that's what I am now. I have something to prove.
All right. Now, we're going to get to what you're going to prove because we're going to take another quick break. And when we get back, I want to talk to you about your platform, what your priorities are once you're elected. And we're just going to go from there. We're going to roll with it from there.
Keep it going.
All right. So you stay right there. You guys stay right there. But don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We are really getting into the meat of this thing right now. And we want you to be a part of it. So you guys go ahead and get your friends to listen in, comment your questions, or you can give us a call at 563-999-1808. We'll be right back. New year, new show. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there. The year 2019 is going to be an exciting time in the city of New Orleans, and we want you to be a part of it. If you have a book, an event, or a business that you would like to promote right here on Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions, contact us at www.mtwimagesolutions.com or info@mtwimagesolutions.com. See you there. And we're back. I am your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm sitting here with Mr. Derrick Shepherd, candidate for Jefferson Parish Council, District 3. Okay, so you said before the break that you had some things to prove.
Yes.
Now, I was at your launch party.
Okay.
And it was nice.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple of them since then, and that was probably one of the nicest. I really enjoyed it. You had it decorated. The red, white, and blue was everywhere.
Yes. I want to thank the committee of all the ladies who helped out on that. I just want to thank Dee, Sam, Sharon, Shanette, Mr. Charles, Travis, Joan, Escalina, Keithan. Keithan was the MC. Oh, he was just awesome. It was just so many people. Denise, who did the catering. Oh my God, it was just an awesome event. Awesome event.
You know, one thing I thought was interesting is that everybody said, you know, it must be a party. He's going to have his launch party at a club.
Well, let me tell you, me and Caesars go way back. I am very proud. Mr. Adam is like a step uncle to me. He was there with me at my lowest spots, my highest highs. His wife is, you know, she's just a gem of a person to know, and it's my lucky spot. I have every time I've been there, I've never lost a race.
Okay.
So I told my people that, you know, hey, look, I don't run from my hood. It's just where I'm from. I'm loving it. I go back. I'm having another party there on August 31st.
Okay.
Do you love this movie? We're bringing the Black Kings of Carnival.
What?
We have the King of Zulu, the King of Athena, the King of Oshun, and the King of Namtak in the house.
Wow.
We're going to honor all of these brothers in their courts and let them come and present themselves to the public.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I may have to go there. I know I don't live in your district, but
yeah, come on
I have
down.
to come over there and see what's going on.
It's free and open to the public.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, one of the things that really struck me was your speech.
Okay.
And I mentioned this to you a couple of times. You basically went down the line of every community in your district and how you wanted to help and uplift them.
Yes. So just to tell the listening audience about the district, it's the largest district in Jefferson Parish. It starts from, I'm going to go from west and come back east. It starts at the Kenner St. Charles line. So if you're going to Baton Rouge, the very last exit is Loyola before you get on 310. That is actually the district. To the right of Loyola is the district. To the left of Loyola is this district. So you come back. So you got a couple of subdivisions: Lincoln Manor, Susan
Mhm.
Park, Veteran Heights. So you come back, and then you have South Kenner that goes all the way down to Jefferson Highway and Airline. You got back of the tracks, Hanson City, and things like that. So then it runs along Jefferson Highway, uh, Airline, picks up Bunch Village, Little Farms, and those neighborhoods. Gets to John Curtis School, and it just jumps the river. Then I have all the West Bank, most of the West Bank. I have all of Wagaman. Comes up, picks up all of Avondale, Kennedy Heights, a new subdivision called Steeplechase, Washington Place. Then it skirts around Bridge City, and it comes and it picks up parts of Westwego, Claiborne Garden, David Development. Then it comes along and it skirts Westwego proper, and then I get about half of Marrero. So from the expressway all the way back to Barataria, we have most of Marrero, several subdivisions in there, and then I go in and pick up about 2/3 of Harvey. So and it stops at the Harvey Gretna line, and you pick up all of those subdivisions there. So it started on January 16th, and I wanted to go to where I wasn't familiar, and that was the East Bank. And I started walking. I just the first street, I just got and started knocking doors. I got on my little scooter, my little Segway, and I just
You were on a
started.
Segway scooting down the street.
I was on a Segway, and everybody was like, "Whoa, what in the world is going on?" I'm like, "Here I am with a suit and tie, and it was cold. I'll never forget. I had a jacket on, and the wind was blowing, and I just started knocking, and I just wanted to introduce myself because I wanted to tell people my story and let them know, hey, in January, I mean, I would tell everybody, so it was January. I said, in October, when you vote for governor, you get a new councilman. And I just would start off like that. And they were like, wait a minute, October? What you doing here in January? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm serious. And that's just how I've been. I've always, when I ran for the Senate, I was from Marrero, but most of the district was in New Orleans. I just started knocking at Pontchartrain Park and Gentilly Woods and all these spots. And I'm like, okay, let me get familiar. So I became entrenched with the neighborhoods, and I kind of could see their concerns. And my heart just went out because it was so much neglect that I see, and I still see to this day.
Mhm.
I just tell you a quick story about one. It's a subdivision, mostly black, all black, and it's called Own Your Own. That's the name of if you bought a house, the deed would say Own Your Own subdivision.
Wow.
Own Your Own. A nice title, but the neighborhood is so neglected. There's
Mhm.
a playground there called Jesse Owen Playground. And I go to the playground and I'm talking to the people in the playground and they're kind of like skeptical because they don't want to say nothing, they don't want to lose their job and stuff like that. I'm like, don't worry about all of that. I just walk myself. So I walk and I happen to stumble upon the equipment room. And girl, they got 11 football helmets. 11
Wow.
football helmets.
That's just enough for one team.
Team comes off, the other team put them on.
Wow.
I said, at Jefferson Parish? I said, this is crazy. I said, y'all don't say nothing. I look, make my observation. The streets is just blight. I go in people's homes, knocking on the door, and I see mold in these apartments. Landlords are not being held accountable. So I just started to notice, and I'm just telling people, look, I haven't. So I keep coming back, so I go to another place, but I come back, and I go to another place, but I come back, and I met with the ministers, I met with community people, and then I started scouring the budget of Jefferson Parish, and I started seeing all this money. I didn't know this when I first started. I should have, but I dealt with the state budget more than the local budget. Jefferson Parish is the richest parish in the state.
Mhm.
And I found out that they have a $652 million budget, was just the parish. Now, New Orleans has 700, was first you think, well, New Orleans is bigger. No. Jefferson Parish has $652 million that's just for the general parish. New Orleans 700 million encompasses everything, police, fire, and everything. Well, we have separate fire, we have separate police. The
Yeah.
police has a $125 million budget. The DA has a $40 million budget. And you just start seeing all these pots of money. I'm like, wow, this is a rich parish. We don't have to live like this. So I'm saying, I'm just strategizing in my military mind how we can make things better, how we can improve people's lives. And it's just basic services and giving people hope. And that's what I've been trying to do. And that's what I epitomize in the speech. How we can progress and make this community better. So there are 5 districts in Jefferson Parish. This is District 3. There are 5 districts. The problem is this. District 3 is the poorest of the 5. Majority minorities, black district, a lot of neglect over the years. Well, if you take $1 and you split it 5 ways, everybody gets 20 cents, then District 3 never catches up to District 5, which is the richest,
Right. Right.
because we both grow at the same time. No, I need District 5 to get less in District. So District 5, you don't need but a nickel. Well, I need 35 cents. So we
But
can have parity.
Now District 5 is going to say, well, now you're trying to take
Mhm.
money out of our pockets because you want to put it somewhere else. So why should I work with you?
Because if District 3 doesn't grow, then what you're going to have is not one parish, which all the political leaders love to speak about. You're not going to have one parish. You're going to have rich and poor, the have and the have-nots. And that's what we see a serious community of. In Jefferson Parish, we see a very wealthy population, and we see a very poor population. Well, the question is to the wealthy people, do you want to make more money? You can make more money if the poor people have more money to spend.
Right.
So do you make it a logical, economical argument?
Now, do you subscribe to the belief, since we're moving there, that the poorer neighborhoods, the crime may be higher there because people are maybe just a little bit more desperate. They don't have a lot, and so it's conditioned like, well, I'm going to have to just take what I need.
It's twofold in my opinion. One, you have a concentration of poverty. For instance, there are certain sections in the parish where a Section 8 voucher can't go. You can't take a Section 8 voucher and go to certain neighborhoods. Well, okay, well, if you put all of the poverty people in certain neighborhoods, you're going to have poverty issues. Then I also subscribe to not a redistribution of wealth, but an expansion of the pie. I don't want to take your slice. I want to make the pie bigger. So we can make the pie bigger by encouraging the people to have also what I call our moral authority back. For instance, I agree that if you ask for certain things and you don't get the resources, that people are going to take. But I'm also, one of the things I think that I'm uniquely qualified to do is to tell people, hey, I've been to jail. You don't have to act like this. I want our people, especially black people, to understand that because we're in a situation, I still need you to act like a human being. You don't steal because it's wrong. You don't steal because you might get caught. You don't steal because that's not God's will. And you have to believe in that. You have to conduct yourself. When we have the moral authority to say, look, we're not going to tear down our neighborhoods, then I have the moral authority to go to different communities and say, look, we're not the problem. You guys are the problem. So I have to make sure that we still have accountability. And I'm uniquely qualified to say, look, man, don't do that. I've been there. And I can tell you that road does not lead to your success. Let's try it a different way.
Now, another problem I see with everybody getting the same 20 cents is that is actually geared toward keeping the poor people poor. They're not going to be able to expand. And then it's easy to say when you're in that higher position, when you're in that richer position, to say, well, I made it, you should too. Or why do you keep saying it's the system? Why do you keep saying it's that? You need to want to do better.
Right.
But we're not giving you the tools, we're not giving you the finances to do better.
And one of the arguments that people on the other side say is that, well, we don't give you the tools or because you can't handle it. Look at how you act. With the little you got, no. I give you a prime example because the way I'm at now, I'm very transparent. Look at Fat City in New Orleans. Let's talk about some certain parts of Metairie. It looks beautiful. It is nice. What business wouldn't want to go there and thrive? But you look at certain parts of our community, down Ames and Acres Road and areas like that, or certain areas in the district, it's like, wait a minute, there's been no investment. So I am trying to say we have to have parity in order for the whole parish. This parish grows by sales tax. Sales tax, property tax. That's what we have our bread and butter with. Most parishes in the state. Well, sales tax comes because of disposable income. I have the money to go out and buy some new tennis shoes, so I'm going to buy some new tennis shoes. Well, we have to give them the money to do it, and that means we need businesses in our community. And I'm of the opinion, hey, you don't want us in your community? Fine. We'll develop our own community, but we need the resources. Because I've always said this, and I mean it. If those children in Metairie are precious, then baby, the ones right here in Marrero are just as precious. And I'm going to fight for them. The ones in Kenner are just as precious. We're going to fight for them.
Well, how do you plan to do this? What is your plan?
First and foremost is that we're going to have a military approach. I'm a military guy. 21 years.
21 years in which service?
I started at 3 years in the Navy, 5 years in the Marines, 13 years in the Army.
Okay, so as long as you say Army, because you know I'm 23 years Army.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Hua.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a military approach to it, and we have to have a tactical response. So instead of reacting, we're going to bring in everybody. The first thing we're going to do is I want to do a similar amnesty program like they're doing in New Orleans. A lot of our people can't participate fully because they have outstanding traffic tickets, warrant tickets, all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to offer an amnesty program where if you got traffic tickets or any probation, come get legal. That's the first thing because it's near and dear to my heart. It's what I've been at. Come get legal so that you can participate, so you can get your driver's license, so you can participate in any programs that they have because you can't do it if you got warrants and you got behind. So that's one program. The second program is I'm taking it from the poorest part of the district, on your own. No longer do you have to complain about people from outside of our community coming in and taking our resources. You want to start a store? You want to start a dry cleaners like the Jefferson? You want to be participating in this program? Well, I'm going to bring it. We're going to have classes throughout, and I'm going to show you how these hardworking people. And I don't want to, alienate the immigrants who come into the community. I want to emulate them. They make sacrifices. So you want a store and you complaining about the foreigners that's having a store in the corner? I'm going to show you how you do your own store. We have the resources, we have the tools, and we have the land. Mm-hmm. So we're going to show you how you do your own store. We're bringing in small businesses to teach them the real estate game. Everybody wants to get into the real estate game. You hear it all the time. I want to learn how to get it. First of all, if you're listening to me, it is a scam. That is not how you get into the real estate game. You get into the real estate game by having skin in the game. You have to sacrifice. You have to put some monies up in order to get it. And we're going to teach that. So we're going to teach. Then we're not going to have our DBE program. We're going to have everything DBE.
Okay.
We're going to have everything DBE. If you're qualified and you can participate, we're going to allow you to participate. Because one of the things that we've had often is we've had people who go through the training, play by the rules, do everything, and they still can't get any work. Well, I don't have family and friends. Everybody's my family and friends. If you can eat, you're going to eat. And then lastly, we're going to target the soul. I've made a commitment to several ministers that if you are saving a soul, I don't care how you do it. My first commitment is that I'm never going to have a nonprofit with my name on it. I'm never going to have a program with my name on it. I'm going to support your program, whoever's program. If you save one soul, I'm going to challenge you to save two. And if you need the resources to save those two, here they are. And I'm going to hold you accountable. If you want to do back to school, fine, do back to school. I'm not going to do one to compete against you and take the resources away from you. I'm going to support you. But really do back to school. If you want to do after school, fine. How many? You come to me and say, okay, Rhonda, how many school kids you providing service for? Oh, 20. Well, you know the need is 30. Here's the resources for the other 10. Mm-hmm. Save them. I need all hands on deck to save our kids. You see our neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Most people see how the despair is in our neighborhood. You ride around, you see them hanging out on the middle of the day, just hanging. I've never seen this.
The belief. And I'm sure it may be the same over here in Jefferson Parish. Mm-hmm. But in New Orleans, we hear all the time, I'll say Orleans Parish, which is where I am. There aren't any jobs here. They're pushing us out of our neighborhoods. We can't afford to live here anymore. They don't care about us here. And some people are saying that, even saying the mayor's not focusing on the right things. All she cares about is giving us bike lanes.
Right. Right. I've heard that.
I don't understand that. I like bike lanes.
Mitch started that, but so don't get mad at the current mayor. But yeah, I understand that. Well, we want to do. I think it's part of my job to start the process of no more excuses. Mm-hmm. I am the type who look, get up off your behind and let's do it. I'm giving you the tools and the resources, but I need you to get up off your behind. It's easy to make excuses. It's easy to throw up your hands and say, well, nobody cares. I understand, but I care. Now, what do we need to be successful? I'm asking you guys, we got to be successful. But after we have this, and we communicate it to the public, and we let everybody know, hey, you want to start a business, this is that. If you want to help with school, this is it. But once you have all of this, no more excuses. Get off the corner, because I also believe in safety. I don't want my mama or my sister driving down the street and she fearing for her life. No more. No. I don't play that. I believe in giving you the tools to be successful, but I also believe in accountability.
All right, now be careful. Everybody got mad at President Obama when he went and said, "All right, take your house shoes off and get out there and."
Oh, I thought it was Bill Cosby said that.
Well, he said something like
Yeah, he
that
said
too.
something like that too. So I understand that, but because you don't say stuff like that without giving the resources for people to do it. It's one thing to just be talking the talk, but also when you talking about giving resources, then you can. It's like having a moral authority. Dr. Martin Luther King had the moral authority to show the white community that you're wrong, because the black community was together and they were solid and they were making lemonade out of these lemons, and that's what we have to do once we. And then I think all the resources will flow.
Yes.
Show that you care. If you show the people that you care, and it's not a deal, and I'm not doing it for publicity, I don't need the credit. I could care less who saves souls. It's my job to help you save souls because I know the feeling. I've sat in a jail cell. I sat hopeless. I've watched people who feel hopeless, just the lack of a tomorrow. That's it. The lack of a tomorrow, it dictates their actions. So I'm living for today. I don't care about nothing else. I'll take you out because I don't see me living another day. I know that, and we have to take that away.
And I think that's a big one. I believe that many young people don't care about taking another life because they don't value their own lives.
They don't.
I mean, so it's easy to say, "Oh, he disrespected me. He deserves to be shot."
Right.
Or he cut me off in traffic, so I'm going to shoot him. And it's sad, but these are the things that we're seeing.
And that's all we see. No one wants to take an L. That's how I say it. Just step on my foot. Look, okay, it hurt. It's over with. Let's move on. No one wants to take an L. Everybody wants to say it's disrespectful. I'm gonna get you back. And we just live in this culture because nobody sees the results. I give you an example. The voter participation is so low.
It's very low.
Oh my God, it's so low.
Less than 30% in some cases.
Less than 30% voted in the last election in this district.
Yes.
And it's like that because people say, what am I voting for?
And it's sad because there are people who say they didn't vote in the last election because their vote doesn't count because it's all because of the electoral college.
Set up.
Yeah, the electoral college is the one that makes the decisions. So why should I vote? But we don't have an electoral college that elects our councilmen. Right. We don't have an electoral college that elects our mayors and things like that.
It's direct election.
So what is your excuse now?
I knocked on the many doors. I was in today. I was in Avondale knocking doors, and the people were like, first of all, nobody's ever knocked at my door, and I'm like, I understand. Well, I'm trying to do something different by knocking on your door and asking you, and I'm trying to assure you that I'm knocking on your door because I don't think you can lead a people you don't know. More of my military, I can't lead you if I don't know you.
Right.
So I know. So I said, I'll make a deal with you. If somebody else knocks at your door, then vote for them. And I'll leave it at that. If somebody else knocks at your door, vote for them. Because at the end of the day, when you come to me and I'm your councilman, you'll be able to say, wait a minute. You knocked at my door on Monday at 3 o'clock. You knocked at my door. You was wearing this checkerboard shirt and these khakis. And you told me that if I called you, you was going to come and make sure that pothole was fixed. And I'm like, you got it, Miss May. You're right. I'm going to fix your pothole. But that type of accountability then will let them participate. Say, okay, now, Miss May, you see your vote in action. Please go vote again.
All right. Now, we're getting close to the end, but there is something I did want to ask you. So you're running for a councilman seat.
Yes.
You used to be, I believe, a state representative.
State representative and state senator.
Yes. So I know in certain ways it may be hard to keep those separate because you think you're going to go in with that state representative mindset, but you have to remember now you're a council person. So how are you going to try to keep those two mindsets separate?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I think it's a blessing. For instance, we are right now in front of a state highway. And because we're in a state highway, I know who to call to fix that state highway. I think the experience is beneficial. It would allow me to have better services because if, for instance, in Wagaman, there's a terrible smell odor because of the noxious fumes that are kicked up from landfills and things like that. A lot of people don't understand that it's state regulated. But when I went up there, the first thing I said was, why don't we call Chuck Carl Brown at DQ and get him to... We're like, okay, yeah. I'm like, yeah, you didn't know that, but you have resources. There's resources. When I talk about the Crime Prevention Fund, if you were a victim of crime, if somebody broke in your car, you get a check. If somebody, you was victim of any kind of crime, you get a check because the state has a fund for that. So I think I bring all of that knowledge to the table, and I think it'll be beneficial.
Okay, and so, and one thing is maybe educating your constituents as well, so they know. Okay, for state representative, this or for things that are state, I need to call this person, or things that are city, I need to call this person. How are they? I mean, it's kind of hard to really not blur the lines. Not you because you're going to understand what the
Right.
different roles are, but for that regular person who doesn't know the difference between their state representative and their council person, that's going to take a bit of an education as well.
It is because of the way the lines are drawn. I've been having to tell people, hey, that is your state representative, and this person is your state senator. So I think it helps to let them know that you have many more phone calls that can be made on your behalf, and it complements each other. So, for instance, if there's a program that I know that is worthy, like an after-school program, well, you know what? There's state funding. The state funding available for community development money. So the parish gets community development money. The city of Kenner gets community development money, but the state also has community development money. For housing programs, for instance, there's a program to fix seniors on fixed income, but their house starts to deteriorate. So you want the fascias and the outside of the house
Right.
fixed up. Well, the parish has money, and the state has money for that. And a lot of people don't know. I mean, it's just so much that as I walk, my heart just goes out. I'm like, whoa, it's just like the Lord said, sheep without a shepherd. Y'all don't get it, and I'm not playing on my name, but but it kind of works, and it's spelled just like in the Bible. So it kind of flows like that, and it's like, okay, I understand, but it's also informing and educate you that hey, even if I'm not available, if I'm not around, call your state rep and you call your state senator, and they have a responsibility. And then I can bring these suckers down and say, hey, y'all, come out of Baton Rouge, come talk to the people who voted for you. And I'm having this meeting. I need you to be present. And hey, then we can hold them accountable.
All right.
It's not just the people; it's the ones in charge too.
Okay. Well, this is Derrick Shepard, candidate for Jefferson Parish Council, District 3. Where can people find you if they want more information about your campaign and what you stand for?
Thank you. Please go to DerrickShepard.com. I'm also on Facebook under Derrick Shepard for Jefferson Parish Council as well.
You're on Instagram, huh?
I think I'm on Instagram. Look, and on Twitter. I'm not sure.
Just go to Facebook.
Or if you live in the district, I'm knocking at your door soon. So on that level, and also I do want to invite the public. We are having on August 31st at Caesars, my step uncle's place. We're having a Black Kings of Carnival kickoff to present them to the public. That's August 31st at 8:00. Please come out. Is invited. We're also celebrating birthdays for those who were born in August. So we're gonna have cake and everything like that. So I'm inviting you to come out, meet me, talk to me, and if you want to donate, please go to the website as well.
Well, all right. Any last word? What do you want? That last thing you want them to know about you?
You can have better. I know people always say, well, it's not my job, or I don't do that. Well, it is, and we can't do that. We don't have to live like this. I'm asking you to give me a second chance because when you go to work tomorrow, you're going to pass somebody on the corner begging for $1 who needs a second chance. You're going to see to your right and to your left somebody who needs a second chance. I know people are going to say negative and nasty things about me because of my past, but baby, that's not the God we serve. We serve a God who looks to our future, not to our past. Because when I get a second chance, your brother gets a second chance. Your nephew gets a chance. And unfortunately, these days, your niece and your aunt, they need a second chance. So help me, and we'll all help this community grow. I don't want to thank you. Thank you for all the ones who answers the doors and those who don't. God bless you anyway. And I do want to thank two people who mean the world to me. And that's my mom and dad, who I've been blessed to still have. They walked me into jail, and they walked me out of jail. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart because I have a mom and a dad who prayed, and they prayed for me. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
That's my people.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you were able to get everything out that you want people to know about your campaign.
Yeah, I got. It is what it is. Go to the webpage and see me and help me. You know, it's easy to talk about me, but help me. How about you helping me for a change? Come on out there and help me.
All right. This is Derrick Shepard, candidate for Jefferson Parish Council District 3. Thank you once again for joining us tonight,
Thank you for having me.
We wish you all best wishes on your campaign. And the election is
October 12th. By the way, one last thing. If you can't see this well, this lady has beautiful skin. Oh my God. She don't have a blemish on her skin. The first thing I noticed, even with the lights, I'm like, golly, lady, you have some beautiful skin.
Thank you.
So I want to thank you for having me. This is an honor and an opportunity that I will always remember.
Well, your brother says that he is with you and that you have his support.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was Torrin Anthony Michaels.
Oh, thank you, Torrin. Odabo, right on.
Yes. Okay, so that is all we have for tonight. I just want to remind you again that we have time to get you onto the bus for the Saints versus Titans football trip, which will take place December 20th through the 23rd. For those of you who procrastinated, it paid off for you only this once because we have extended the deadline to August 31st. If you want to reserve your seat, it will only be $50 until August 31st. On September 1st, deposits go up to $200. So that's your incentive. Go ahead and get your deposits in now. That trip is going to include, because I know some people are asking, well, why is it $550? We're giving you a lot for $550. I mean, you get your bus trip there and back. You get your ticket to the game. You're staying in a 4-star hotel. You are staying in the Sheraton Grand downtown Nashville. We are visiting 2 different cities. We're going to Memphis as well as Nashville. And we are taking you on some actual sightseeing visits. We're going to get you into the city, and we're going to provide the transportation. You don't have to worry about Uber. You don't have to go find your cousin and them that might live in Nashville. We have a bus that's going to take you to a lot of different places right in Nashville. And you're going to get a gift bag, and we're going to have a social with an open bar. We got all that for you, and all it's going to cost you is this $550. But in order for you to get your seat, it's only going to be $50 until August 31st. So let's go ahead and make sure that this bus is absolutely filled up because we're going to have a good time. And if you're looking for something to do this coming Saturday, we want you to be at the University of New Orleans University Center for the Greek Comedy Tour hosted by Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Alpha Gamma Zeta Chapter. We have 3 hilarious comedians. If you saw the show last week, you know these comedians are hilarious. So headliner is Steve Brown. Our featured actor will be D. Ellis, and our host will be none other than Christopher Columbus. All 3 fraternities, all 3 are in fraternities. Steve is an Omega, D. Ellis is a Kappa, and Christopher Columbus is a Sigma. My brother. I can't wait to have him here. So we need you all in the house. Let's represent. Let's have a good time. And no, you do not have to be a member of a Greek organization. Stop all of that. A5. You do
Where we at? Well,
I'm sorry. No.
We crack a joke.
You're the second alpha who's asked me that. Maybe next time we'll have an alpha as a comedian. This time we just need y'all to come and support the other
we're
ones.
behind the scenes making it happen. That's what we do.
Okay,
Yeah.
y'all just be in the audience. That's what we want.
Yes.
All right, so that's all we have for tonight. Thank you once again for tuning in. Thank you for those who asked questions. We are looking forward to seeing you next week, where we're going to have 2 more awesome guests on the show. And we want to see you at the polls if you live in New Orleans or if you live in Jefferson Parish.
Statewide.
Yes.
Statewide.
This is a statewide election. Everybody's going to be voting for their state representatives, their state senators, and their councilmen.
Governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, treasurer, the whole gambit. It's the big one.
This is the big one. So October 12th, we need you at the polls. Let's make history, and let's put our voting, let's say, why don't we just ask for like 60%?
There you go.
It doesn't even have to be 100. Let's do 60%.
Everybody and your mama now.
Yes. And your cousin and them.
Yes.
All right, that's all we have for tonight, guys. Thank you so much. We had a great time tonight, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.